The days following the company restructuring announcement were heavy with uncertainty. Conversations at work were quieter, filled with whispered fears and anxious glances. Noah felt the same fear, but he did not allow it to dominate his actions. Instead of isolating himself, he made a conscious effort to remain present for others. He checked in on teammates, listened to their worries, and reminded them that uncertainty did not mean the end. This period tested his motivation more than any other, because results were unclear and reassurance was limited. Still, Noah showed up every day, choosing steadiness over panic. As weeks passed, management began observing employees not only for performance, but also for attitude and leadership potential. Noah did not know this at the time. He simply continued doing what felt right. When someone struggled with workload, he offered help. When mistakes happened, he focused on solutions instead of blame. His calm presence became a quiet anchor in a storm of anxiety. People trusted him, not because he had authority, but because he genuinely cared. Eventually, layoffs were announced. Some people lost their jobs, others were reassigned. Noah remained employed, but his workload increased significantly. Instead of resentment, he felt responsibility. He understood that surviving a difficult phase did not mean becoming indifferent to those who did not. He helped former colleagues with references, recommendations, and encouragement. Some nights he felt emotionally drained, but he reminded himself that kindness does not disappear during hardship, it becomes more important. During this time, Noah was invited to a meeting with senior management. To his surprise, they spoke openly about his impact on the team. They noticed how people naturally gravitated toward him, how conflicts decreased around him, and how morale improved despite pressure. Noah listened quietly, unsure where the conversation was going. When they offered him a team coordinator role, he felt a mix of gratitude and fear. The position came with responsibility, expectations, and visibility he had never experienced before. Accepting the role forced Noah to confront his doubts. He worried about whether he was capable, whether kindness would still work in a leadership position, and whether he would disappoint people. After much reflection, he accepted the opportunity, reminding himself that growth often feels uncomfortable. Motivation, he realized, was not about feeling ready, but about being willing to learn. As a coordinator, Noah faced new challenges. He had to make decisions that affected others, manage deadlines, and address conflicts directly. At first, the pressure felt overwhelming. But he approached leadership the same way he approached life, with empathy and patience. He listened before speaking, explained decisions transparently, and acknowledged effort openly. Slowly, trust deepened. People felt heard, and that made them more committed. Outside of work, Noah continued volunteering at a local community center. He spent weekends mentoring young adults who felt lost and discouraged. Many of them struggled with self-worth, comparing themselves constantly to others. Noah shared his own journey honestly, emphasizing that progress is not always visible, and that motivation grows through consistency, not perfection. He encouraged them to practice kindness toward themselves, especially during failure. One particular student, struggling with repeated academic setbacks, connected deeply with Noah's words. Over time, that student began to change, studying with discipline, seeking help, and believing in his own potential. Watching this transformation reminded Noah that impact does not require fame. Sometimes it only requires presence. Balancing work, leadership, and volunteering was exhausting. There were moments when Noah felt close to burnout. During those moments, he learned another lesson: kindness includes self-care. Rest was not laziness, and boundaries were not selfish. Motivation, to last, needed balance. Noah began prioritizing his health, understanding that helping others required sustaining himself. As months turned into years, Noah's life slowly transformed. His confidence grew, not from praise, but from alignment with his values. He still faced challenges, but they no longer shook his foundation. He understood that kindness and motivation were not temporary strategies, but lifelong practices. The city around Noah remained busy and imperfect, but small changes appeared wherever he was present. Teams became more supportive. Young people found direction. Conversations became more human. These were not dramatic transformations, but they were real. Noah often reflected on how far he had come, not in position or salary, but in resilience and purpose. He realized that kindness had not slowed him down. It had carried him forward when motivation felt weak. And although his journey was not complete, he knew he was moving in the right direction.